you very much. I feel slightly embarrassed by all that. All I would say is,
It's okay, I missed out half of it.
to do that kind of thing, you just have to live long enough. I'm going to read off the time. Well, one thing I can't resist adding is that Movements in Art has just been republished in Chinese this very month.
Fantastic.
A legitimate edition in China instead of a pirated one. This is all one poem sequence, and it's called Srebrenica. And it was written because I had a long friendship with a man who was the most famous Bosniak painter. Bosniak means that he was a Bosnian Muslim. And he died very recently. But before he died, 2 or 3 years before he died, we made a journey from where he then was living in Croatia, Zagreb, to right across Serbia to Srebrenica, which was the site of the worst massacre during the Balkan Wars of the 1990s, and perhaps the greatest genocide since the end of the Second World War. And this poem sequence was originally written to accompany a book in Serbo-Croat about Mersad's paintings. Section 1. Inconvenient people. These are inconvenient people who block the road to a higher purpose. They stop us from being what we could be. Their forefathers betrayed us by choosing to worship God in a different fashion. Now let them pay. They must no longer insult us by existing in the same place as ourselves, under the same sun, on the same planet. This is evident and reasonable. Surely you agree. To the graveyard. Bad things happen in ordinary places. On one side of the road, rank upon rank of marble markers. On the other, empty buildings stink of fear. When it took place, the winking satellites, high in the heavens, watched with their cameras. No one programmed them to say, alas. 3, the peacekeeper. The peacekeepers were Dutch. What could I do? There were not that many of us. Hundreds, where they had thousands. And thousands more of those others at our gates in fear. It was not our war. We should not have been present. Their general was a fine-looking man. I was photographed once, drinking a toast with him. Oh, the pursuit. High sun. The woods still green. Berries already ripening on some of the bushes. Famished, they cram them in their mouths, with ears alert for those who pursue. Gunfire in the mountains. A cry halted as the throat is cut. 5, the youngest. The youngest was 14, maybe growing a moustache, proud to be a man among men. So they took him with the rest. We don't know if they shot him or cut his throat, only that his balls had just dropped. They killed him for that. 6. Bodies of Tuzla. Tuzla is where the excavated bodies from the massacre are kept and researched to try and find out their identities. Buried, reburied, unburied, stacked up, 2,000 of the nameless, waiting for their stolen names to be returned to them. Only then can they sleep, knowing that syllables once theirs have now become part of a litany of accusation. 7. The old man, this is the Prime Minister of the Republic of Serbia, who got away with it for years, living in plain sight in Belgrade. For years, an old man with a big beard and a ridiculous topknot played the guzli and sang of love and lost in neighbourhood taverns. He could cure many ills with his magic potions. The friends who drank with him didn't like to mention the blood still wet that covered his hands. 8. This is the last one. First they take your life. Then they want to take the memory that you once existed. You were an actor in an event no one wants to recall. Go away, please. Take those buzzing flies, the odour of grave clothes, into sanitized oblivion. What we have kindly prepared for you is called forgiveness, is called reconciliation. Swallow the dose. Vanish. Allow us now to forgive ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward. That's wonderful. It falls to me to introduce our wonderful host and the fantastic poet, Sophie Herxheimer, who's going to be reading from her POW broadsheet called London. Sophie Herxheimer moves between painting, drawing, print and poetry, and her projects have included hand-making a 300-metre tablecloth for the Thames Festival, featuring personal stories about food collected from over 1,000 Londoners, and making a woman-sized concrete poem about Mrs. Beaton cited next to her grave. She's held residencies for the London International Festival Theatre, the London Printworks Trust, Marine Studios, Transport for London. She's illustrated 5 collections of fairy tales and toured Central St Martin's, the British Library, Turner Contemporary College Picture Gallery, amongst many others. In 2013, her work was selected for the Visual Poetics at the Poetry Library, and she has been involved in the making of numerous artist books, including Hurricane Butter and Ghost Hotel, and is exhibited at the Book Art Bookshop, who we're connected to tonight, and she's read at many venues, including Poetry Cafe, the Rich Mix, and the Poetry Library. Please warmly welcome Sophie Herxheimer.
Thank you very much, Stephen. My